Look at her, she's wicked.
Oh my goodness.
Get her! Bring me down.
Oh wow. Hello, Lindsay. You came in with a fire
Can I redo it?
and spunk. Why?
Because was that weird?
Just because, no, we're keeping it now. We're real on this podcast.
Yes.
We are real because we're imperfect.
Oh, true. Oh my
It's
God.
literally in our name.
Welcome to the Practically Imperfect podcast. I'm Lindsay.
Yep, and I'm Orson. They already know this.
How was your week? I almost forgot what to say.
My week was good, but I feel like you should go more into your week because I feel like you had more of things happening.
Well, I did see Wicked this weekend.
Obviously, by the intro.
Literally, you guys, I can't even describe how good it was. And everyone's heard all about it by this point because opening weekend was literally insane. And it's been everywhere for me. But a lot of people don't know about it, which is just so insane to me. I don't know a world without it because it came out in 2003 and I was born in 1999. So I've just always known about it and always loved it. So it was everything. And I'm so sorry, but Orson didn't see it because I saw it with the girlies and the gays. So Orson was not invited.
Oh my goodness.
But hopefully we will see it next week together. Hopefully together we'll see when we go to Arizona for Thanksgiving. What?
Yeah.
I know. I don't want to talk too much about it because A, you haven't seen it, and B, that's all because you haven't seen it. But you guys, I have never sobbed in a movie more in my entire life. I've gotten teary. I've just never sobbed before. No matter how sad it is. Wicked is sad. It's a sad, it's not going to end happy, spoiler alert. I'm not going to give away the ending, but it's because it's part 1 and part 2.
Mm-hmm.
It both end sad. Why are you looking at me like that?
What? I'm actually genuinely interested.
No, you're looking at me like I don't care and I'm listening and I'm shaking my head anyway.
What? No.
Yes.
I'm loving what you're saying.
Promise?
Yeah.
So I can keep going?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, so part 1 and part 2 of Wicked, they both it's just a sad ending both ways. So yes, it is sad, but I think I was crying because I was just overwhelmed with joy, but it was also sad. Joy for myself because this movie has been talked about, I swear, since I was in high school. Oh, they're making a Wicked movie. They're making a Wicked movie. And it just kept getting pushed back for a bunch of different reasons. I don't even know, but so many reasons. And now it's finally here. So it just came to me. I was crying, sobbing, ask my friends in the first 5 minutes because I was just so overwhelmed that I was finally seeing this. And it starts out just so sad. So if I see it again, I just know I'll cry. I just know that I'll keep crying.
The only thing I know about this movie is just the videos that I've seen. Or you've shown me. I actually haven't seen any videos.
What the heck are you talking about? We saw it in New York together.
No, I'm talking about this movie.
Oh, the movie.
Yes,
I thought you meant...
I've seen the play.
Yes.
I know the storyline. I get it.
Yeah.
But the only thing I know about this movie that's just coming out that a lot of people are talking about is just the interview. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. It's just all the interviews. With,
oh my gosh. With Ariana Grande and Cynthia.
Yes. Those ones. Uh-huh.
Where they're just crying about nothing. It's so dang funny. I never skip them. If they come up on my scrolling, they're just so funny. How they're just... The interviewer asks, "Oh, what'd you eat for lunch on set?" And they're just
But what the thing that
Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
more interested in is like the conspiracy theories that you were showing me, as far as like what happened on the original set of The Wizard of Oz, and
I
like how
know.
Ariana and the other main character look really skinny and everything like that, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, this franchise is cursed because people on the set are treated awfully or whatever."
Well, yes. Obviously, Cynthia and Ariana look very, very tiny and
Mm-hmm.
sickly and skinny, but I don't know. I don't think it was anything happened like on set to like make them that way. I think that's just what they look like right now. But
You don't
they're
think they were supposed to look a certain way for the role?
oh no. And they look very different because obviously you film a year or two ago. Like they've been filming for a long like it's been a
It's
long
true.
time. So it's not like they just came out of filming, but they look really different from what they did on screen. I mean, Ariana is still super skinny. She looks skinnier now if I'm being completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
But Cynthia, aka Alphaba in the movie, she doesn't look she looks very different. She doesn't look skinny like at all, but now she does. But whatever. I don't want to talk about that. But do you want to talk about I don't even know if it's conspiracy theories, but people are now posting about the Wizard of Oz, which we saw also a couple days ago to like get ready for Wicked for me.
You saw, I ended up falling asleep.
Oh yeah, that's true. I had forgotten so many
I
things
wish I hadn't
about that
fallen asleep. I
movie.
liked that movie. It's a good movie,
It's
but
so
for some
good.
reason I was exhausted.
Yeah, but I finished it and I forgot so many things. Like that hilarious part at the end when they're waiting for the wizard and how the lion is just like courage. And then he just like pretends to like have courage. I don't want never mind. But that movie is so good and I'm sad you fell asleep. But the conspiracies I was talking about on the Wicked, or not the Wicked, the Wizard of Oz set is so insane, you guys. I don't think it's conspiracy. I think it's like that actually happened.
Mm.
So a couple of the things, if you didn't know, that happened during the filming of The Wizard of Oz. So Judy Garland, who plays Dorothy, was apparently only fed apples, cigarettes, and coffee. That was all she was allowed to eat because they like wanted to keep her young and skinny or something. I don't know. And I think they had her on some type of drug as well to like keep her looking young and not grow because your body changes so much as a teenager, that she suffered from lifelong like addiction to whatever they gave her. So that ended up she died super young.
Oh, did she
She was
really?
not even 50, yeah. I
Dang.
know.
Was she in any other roles?
I'm sure she's probably in so many. It's Judy Garland. Like, I just know her from Wizard of Oz, but she is really iconic, especially
Oh,
in the gay
okay.
community.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Like, okay, I'm obviously not in the gay community, but watching like RuPaul's Drag Race,
Mm-hmm.
they like everyone's obsessed with Judy Garland, and I guess back in the day when being gay wasn't as like open and it was more like hush hush, that gay people would just ask, "Are you a friend of Dorothy's?" And that was kind of like the code, like, "Are you gay?"
Oh, really? So she was
She was
she
like
was
a gay
gay?
icon. No, she wasn't gay. She was just like an iconic actress for gay people. Like Lady Gaga, like the gays love her. Like, you know what I mean?
So she wasn't gay herself. She
No, no.
b- just
The gays just loved
the
her.
community of the LGBTQ community just latched onto her
Yes, yes.
for some random reason.
Well, because I mean,
But like,
she's amazing.
what made her iconic that they would want to?
She's an amazing singer, actress. She's an older actress. So if it was like the 50s or 60s or something, they would just say, "Oh, are you a friend of Dorothy's?" Don't know. I don't know if that's true or accurate, but that's what I like hear.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. But anyway, so yes, that happened to her. I heard that the Tin Man had to be recasted because the original Tin Man had like lead poisoning or something because of the type of paint material that they used for his costume. The Wicked Witch of the West got burned because one of the trap doors for when she like blew up into flames didn't actually go down and she had to go to the hospital. The Scarecrow's mask left him with permanent scars. The lion's costume was made of actual lion skin. Like, just so many insane things just happened on that set. Allegedly, I don't know. I wasn't there, but that's what I heard.
No, someone take their life too.
Oh yeah, that too. So yeah, The Wizard of Oz is cursed for sure, but it's an amazing movie. And Wicked was
I mean, is it
even
cursed?
better.
Those might not even be true.
That's true. I wasn't there.
These could just be people making things up just to get a lot of views.
I don't know. I think it is true. I think stuff happened.
I mean, stuff.
Because it was a long time ago, but not that long ago.
Yeah, it should. In my head, I'm like thinking, this wasn't that long ago to where they couldn't use better face paint that wasn't poisonous and like create a mask that wasn't.
I mean, it was 1939. Like, it was a long time ago, but people like remember Judy Garland because she was so young in that movie that she grew up like in the 40s and the 50s, you know.
All right.
So who knows, but that is what has been going around, which is so crazy, and I believe it, especially the lion's costume. Like, when you saw it, you were like, yeah, that looks like real lion hair.
It looks like real lion. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So anyway, I walked out of that theater like sobbing because it was just so good, and I was just blown away. And I was thinking about what other movies have I left being like, oh my gosh, that was the best movie I've ever seen. And there's only a handful, but okay, clearly music speaks to me because one of the other ones that I was thinking about is The Greatest Showman. Mm-hmm. I walked out of that one like, whoa. I think it's because I just don't expect it to be that good. Because I remember The Greatest Showman, like, trailers. It was just about Zendaya and Zac Efron. And it was, like, that scene of her in the trapeze. But, I don't remember really seeing anything else except that Zac Efron and Zendaya was in it. Did I even know it was a musical? I don't even know. I think I did. Yeah, I did know it was musical. But yeah, I was blown away. I was like, it's still one of my favorite movies. So that came out when I was in high school, and then when I was in middle school, Frozen came out, and I remember thinking that was also the best movie I've ever seen. I'm sure I thought that with like the Hunger Games too. I was really into the Hunger Games. But anything you would like to add with movies or?
Oh man, like with movies now.
Oh, I want to add one more. Also, Inside Out 2 really blew me away. That was a good movie. Really blew me away. Okay, go ahead. Sorry,
I had a piece of ice. Movies now. So like, it's because of the work I'm doing on myself and trying to be more in line with my future self, and I'll come back to movies, but I feel like my energy is changing and who I am is fundamentally changing, and there's just a lot more movies now that just hit me in different ways, like just random Disney movies. Yeah, I'm just like, wow, like that is such a good like this is what I'm thinking in the moment of watching this movie. Like, that is such a good lesson and metaphor for life. Like, like this is like, I wish everybody would just hold on to this lesson and like apply it, because like this is especially with like Inside Out 2, for example. Yeah. Like, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like this is probably so relatable, and like what actually, like this is great. Like, anyways, like the mindset and the thinking behind some of the movies and just the artistry, like a lot of movies nowadays just make me more, maybe emotional is the right word, but just more like, wow.
Especially because we have a baby too. You also just think of things different.
That's true.
Like, in Wicked, like Elphaba, obviously because she's green and she gets made fun of, and in the movie, it doesn't show too much when in the play, but it showed her a little bit like as a kid getting made fun of. It's just like, oh my gosh, like it just pulls at your heartstrings more.
Mm-hmm. I guess
I think you're gonna cry.
really.
Wicked, I think so. I think
You
you'll
know,
get
it's like
choked up.
because I am working on trying to not. I hold back. I feel like a lot of tears and emotions, and like it's like right now, I'm not like feeling emotional, but sometimes I'll just randomly start like tearing up, and like I get like this choked up feeling in my throat. But like I'm like, there's literally no reason for me to feel emotional right now.
Yeah.
It's just all of a sudden like these tears and stuff start coming out of my eyes, and I have literally no idea why. And there's like more instances like that happening for me, where I'm trying to experiment of like, what if I actually just kind of let it all go and like let it come out and not be worried about judgment from you, especially.
Me?
Yes, from you.
Why would I judge you?
Because I feel like you would see me like, oh, like, you'd be like, oh, you crying? Or you like, oh, like, you'd be like, oh, you okay? Or just something. I
Because
don't
I'm a
know.
nice person, so I'll ask if you're okay.
I don't know, but I just.
The one time I did judge you, though, it was we were dating, and it was
That's Avengers.
Avengers Endgame.
Oh my
You were
gosh.
sobbing, and I was like,
Was it?
bruh.
Oh yeah, I was like.
Yeah, you were like, I've never seen you cry that hard,
Oh my
probably to
gosh.
this day.
Yeah, so I guess to get back onto the topic of like what movies that really like struck me. Oh, since we're talking about that one, I'll just finish that story. So like this is the movie in the Avengers timeline where they all like disappear and stuff like that, and this is the movie where they're coming back, and they go and open the portal and they're fighting Thanos and all this other stuff.
It's
And
just so nerdy.
It is nerdy.
But here I am saying that I sobbed a million times with Wicked, being like a theater kid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But it's like if anyone has seen those movies, right? They all basically die and they're gone, and then just a small group of Avengers are trying to figure this out, and they're fighting Thanos, and they're starting to lose even more, and then all of a sudden, like you see one of Doctor Strange's little portal rings start to open up, and then you just hear. I forget which voice you hear in the background.
I don't remember who first came out. Was it?
Maybe it was Black Panther or somebody, but just the entire theater was like, yeah. And
I know.
And then
that was pretty
like,
cool.
Someone else steps out and Spider-Man swings in, and then I just like it was those moments when just everyone that basically died after Thanos snapped his fingers were coming back, and I was just like I was like crying, and I was sniffling, and the person next to me was this girl and her boyfriend, and the girl sitting right next to me like looked over and was like, what?
You started to sob. I'm not going to do a spoiler, even though the movie's been out for literally 5 years, when one of the superheroes dies.
Oh, it was Iron Man? Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't
Spoiler
crying
alert, I
when
guess.
they came. I mean, you were, but you were like sobbing when Iron Man died.
I think part of the reason though, I like grew up on Iron Man movies.
No,
like
you didn't. You love Spider-Man.
no, but like the Iron Man movies, I watched those a lot. Spider-Man was great, and that was my favorite superhero growing up. But for some reason, the DVDs I had of Iron Man, like I had that one in the car.
Oh.
And I think I had like the little portable DVD players.
Yes.
Before there were TVs in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just put the little DVD in the DVD player, and that was like I think one of the movies that I had access to, and I watched that one a lot. But Iron Man, he played such a big role in like that entire franchise, and then now he's killed off, and now he's coming back as a villain. That same actor, he's coming back to the Robert Downey Jr. They casted him as
He's gonna play an Iron Man again?
Was it Doctor Doom? No, I don't think it was Doctor Doom. He's not gonna play Iron Man. I think it's some villain.
That's weird.
I have no idea. I just remember seeing a
He
video
just
on
needs
it.
to be Iron Man, and I heard like in the press that he like wanted to die because he's been Iron Man for so long. Like he probably just wanted to be done with the whole Marvel. I don't know, but that's what I heard.
Something new. Yeah, I mean I get it, but So that was one of the movies. The Greatest Showman for me, that was another one where I just felt so connected to that movie. Like I saw that one. I was living in Phoenix or in Mesa with my sister, and I've always had these big dreams and goals and ambitions. And when I was watching that movie, that was another one where I was just like, this movie's speaking to me. Like
Yeah.
it is like, it was just like everything that I thought of, and I was like, wow, this, like, I am, what's his name?
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I was like, I am Hugh Jackman. Like, I have these dreams, and I want to give my family this crazy reality and some stuff that I never had.
And
it's
he
like
has two daughters.
Yeah, and now that I have a daughter, that's even more relatable now. But
I know.
it was just like that movie definitely. I came out of that and I was like, wow, that was so good. And especially too when that movie came out, there hadn't been a whole lot of movies that were like family orientated and like dream chaser vibe with
it
musical.
Was just so good for especially the time.
It was a very good family friendly movie that had an amazing message behind it, which is like chase your dreams and put your family first.
I mean, if you want to go into The Greatest Showman, he ended that way, but he was a very selfish man.
He was, but like he learned the lessons, and like that's what.
Yes.
Like in the end,
Can you think of anything else?
Another movie I cried on is The Amazing Spider-Man. I think that's the one with.
Really? When?
When. What's the girlfriend's name? Oh
Emma Stone.
It's the one with he plays Tick Tick Boom. What's the actor's name?
Andrew Garfield.
Yes, Andrew Garfield. Is that The Amazing Spider-Man? Is that that one?
Yes.
When he's like trying to when she's falling.
Yeah.
And he like shoots the web to catch her, and then he ends up breaking her back.
Yeah.
And then that part made me cry. Like that. I was so sad.
What about when you were like younger? Like not necessarily like made you cry, but like you walked out of the theater like, wow, that was the best movie I've ever seen. Like I remember thinking that at like 13 or something with Frozen.
I don't think I really remember anything like
Really?
that.
Sad. That is sad.
I mean, I remember like the movies that I used to watch all the time when I was little, but like little.
Yeah.
Like I used to watch Newsies all the time, and
oh yes.
And Spider-Man all the time, and there was one other one. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but Newsies was what I would dress up as the main character, and like when he's singing a certain song, I would put on my hat and like pretend I was doing everything that he was doing in the dancing scene.
That's so cute. Oh, you loved High School Musical.
That's yeah. I want no joke. I watched that movie every single day when I came home from school. Like I was living and breathing Troy Bolton.
Why?
Because I liked basketball. My mom was like the choir teacher, so there was a little bit of singing in me. And I was just like...
You probably thought he was so cute and you wanted to be him.
Yeah, and I definitely had a crush on Gabriella.
You did?
Oh, yeah,
so you were a Gabriella girly, not a Sharpay girl.
Yeah, Sharpay.
I mean, not girly, you're a boy. You were a Gabriella person, not
lover.
Sharpay.
I was a Gabriella lover, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Mm.
But yeah, I gotta get your head in the game. Gotta get
Which one did you watch every day? The first one, the second, or the
Definitely
third?
the first one. The second, third, and like those ones they don't compare. The first is the best one.
This is controversial.
The first is the best. That's the most. That's the iconic one in my brain.
I so disagree.
Like that's
the third is the best one.
The
for
first
me, which
one.
Is so awesome.
The first one gave all the rest of them a chance. If it wasn't if it was not for the first movie, none of them would have.
I mean, that
existed.
is true. That is true. The first one was amazing, but the second and third one had like bigger and better budget. So I just think all around they're just like better
because the first one did so well.
I mean, true.
If it wasn't for the first one, they wouldn't even exist.
I think majority of like the people can agree that the second one is the best one. But
I get where you're coming from. But
I like the third one. The third one doesn't get enough love. The third one is so good, especially your senior year when you graduate high school. Like, oh my gosh, the third one is like, it speaks to you.
And I never really watched those. Like the first one was the one that always spoke to me. Like I remember my friends would come over, and they'd be like, my mom would answer the door, and she'd just be like, "Oh, Orson's just watching High School Musical again." They would just come in and like sit down and like finish watching the movie with me.
That's so funny.
Every day after elementary school.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
It was fun.
Yeah. Okay, now what else are we talking about?
Yeah,
so you guys, we post this podcast on Monday, the 25th. It is almost 9 p.m. on the 24th. We've never made it this close to be like, oh my gosh, we have to film the podcast. So after we're like done with this, we have to, not me, Orson has to edit it. We have to get all the reels. I'm doing thumbnails now, so I have to get the thumbnail, get everything scheduled. We're going to be up late tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, but I mean, I probably shouldn't chew that ice right in the microphone.
Well, we can talk about like Thanksgiving stuff because Thanksgiving is on Thursday, which is, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love Thanksgiving food. Love it so much. Can't freaking wait.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I'm getting really excited.
We're going to be with my family this year.
Yes, and we're going to Arizona, and I love going to Arizona so much, especially around this time of year because it's like in the 70s. It's like so warm still, but like not too hot to where you want to die. And yeah, and all of your family's coming because not all of your family live in Arizona, which makes it even more fun. And also Scarlett doesn't have any, she doesn't really have any kids to play with, you know, and now that she's crawling, she can like keep up.
Kind of. She can try to keep up.
She can try. And so yeah, I'm excited to play with her cousins.
What I'm totally envisioning happening is the kids running around screaming like, ah, woo, and like playing and like running back and forth from the, like there's a hallway that separates the toy room versus like the kitchen where everyone else will be.
Yeah.
And so they'll be running back and forth, and I can see Scarlett just like wanting to be a part of it and like trying to like crawl and keep up with him, but like not being able to.
I know.
And just like screaming along with all of them.
And it's her first Thanksgiving. It's her first like holidays, which is so funny because normally, I don't know, you're like smaller babies, but since she was born in January, like it feels so weird doing like a baby's first Christmas ornament because she's not a baby anymore. She's big.
Yeah. Like we were putting an outfit on her today.
Oh my god.
And we're like, holy, that looks huge, and it like fits her perfectly.
I know, it's all
crazy.
Kind of small.
I mean, yeah, it will be in like a week.
I know. So crazy.
It is fun. Is there anything that's coming up with the holiday season that you're most excited about?
I just love Thanksgiving food so much. Like,
I just want pie.
Turkey.
Pie.
Mashed potatoes.
Pie.
Corn.
Pie.
Rolls.
Pie.
Okay. No, I don't like pie. So that's why I'm making pumpkin chocolate chip cookies for your family because, oh my gosh, can we talk about my first Thanksgiving with your family and how I cried?
Yeah, we can. Let's go. That's actually a good talk. Like because these first two holidays when we were married, we did them both at my family's house.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we were always with your family.
Yeah.
And my family had no idea who you were.
I know, they needed to get to know me. So because Orson's family didn't really know me that well when we first got married, which was in October, so it was right after the holidays were coming up, we went to Arizona for Thanksgiving and then Christmas. And I just remember the first Thanksgiving, where were we? Because your dad hadn't gotten remarried yet, so we were at that house. Were we in Flagstaff? No. Where the heck did we go? We were at Brooke's house. Okay, we were at your sister's house. And she burnt the ham.
Oh, did she really?
Yes. It still tasted good, but she burnt the ham. There was no corn. There was only pie. And I cried. Also, I was 19 or 20. I was still so young. I would not care now. But it's just, I don't know. It just, you know, the food is different and you're like not used to it. You're like, I want to be with my family. I don't know these people. So, yeah, I cried on Thanksgiving. I don't even know how you reacted. I don't think you were very nice. I don't remember
Yeah.
you being very compassionate towards my feelings, which would not happen today again. We were both very different people 5 years ago.
Yes, very much so. I think I was just like, are you serious? Like, you agreed to that. Like, you married me. This is my family.
I
Like, be normal.
know.
Like, why are you crying about it? Like, be an adult. I think that's kind of like where I was coming from.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I
Oh, and they
think
weren't watching football, which we always watch
we were
football.
watching the dog show.
We did
We
watch the
watch
dog show, thank
football.
goodness.
We always watch
No,
football.
you didn't want. You weren't. I remember there was
Oh,
no football on. But I
okay.
feel like now you guys do that.
We
I don't
normally
know.
always watch the dog show and like football.
Yeah, you didn't.
We're a normal family when it comes to Thanksgiving, but for some reason to you, it was way out of the ordinary.
Well, I didn't have any dessert. That was traumatic.
It's your own fault. Like pie, be normal.
I don't like pie. I like cookies and cakes. Maybe I had ice cream. I don't know. I'm sure they had ice
Yes,
cream.
there was definitely ice cream, but like it's just pie. Like what the like what in the world?
I don't know. The first pie I ever liked was the most recent pie we got a month or two ago.
It was like a chocolate cream pie.
It was so good. I was into that pie, and it had like a brownie crust, so it wasn't real pie.
We'll have like one of those again.
You think so?
Brooke always gets those because like that's what her kids like.
Okay, good. See, like I eat like a child, you guys.
You do like there
So
were.
this year also, I've also noticed, because we go every other year now, so I still haven't even had that many Thanksgivings with your family when you think about it. So 2019, I was there. 2020, we also went.
Mm-hmm.
So 2021 we skipped. 2022.
So
this is only my fourth Thanksgiving with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I have noticed that you guys don't have corn at your guys' Thanksgiving. So I volunteered. I was like, I'll make corn because,
corn.
you don't have it. So, and the last time we were there, so 2022, I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to make pumpkin chocolate chip cookies because I need that for my heart on Thanksgiving. So I'm doing that again this year. Very excited about it. Yeah, and also Christmas, I also cried.
Before you get into the Christmas side of stuff, you remember last year one of my nieces like ate a lot of the cookies before we even started having dinner.
Mad.
She like I kept watching her going back and forth, back and
So
forth.
I made the cookies the night
you were
before.
getting pissed too.
Was
you
I?
You were like,
Okay, wait,
anybody else?
Wait, let me explain. So, I made the pumpkin chocolate chip cookies the night before Thanksgiving, and she was like, Lindsay, can I just have one? And it made a lot less than I thought it would, and you were having way more family members than normal. Like, normally it's just your immediate family, because your immediate family is really big still, but they were having a bunch of extended. So I was like, no. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, you have to wait until it's actually time to have dessert. And I just kept seeing, the reason why I was getting mad, I would not have cared if there was a plethora of cookies, but there wasn't.
I didn't remember her asking the night before.
She did, and I said, no, like, we need to
That's
wait.
so
just
mean of you. Like, it's just one cookie.
No.
Let the girl have her cookie.
No, I said no.
Well, you got to double the recipe this year, I think.
Yeah.
Or whatever you did last year or the time before.
Yeah, and I just kept seeing her making multiple trips and stealing the cookies. I was like, and stealing the cookies. So I was just annoyed. I was like, girl, I get it. They're amazing. And I kept getting compliments. Oh, that's also so nice when you make a dish or something that's really delicious and everyone's like, oh, this is so good. Everyone says that with the pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. They're just so moist. And I'm excited for that again, of like getting praise for that.
Pie's better.
No. So I also want to talk about my first Christmas with you guys. That was also, you said, a not normal Christmas. So
It's true.
I think you were also like kind of sad about how things went.
Yeah, it wasn't like normally
I cried
growing
yet
up my
again.
Christmas. Yes, you did cry, but
I'll say when I did.
yeah, it was different. It was abnormal. So my dad was still not remarried yet. This was the second. For me, it was the first Christmas after my mom passing away.
Second.
The second one. Oh yeah, because she passed away. Then I met you a year later.
Yeah.
So second Christmas after my mom passing away, and my dad had his house in Snowflake, Arizona, and my second to oldest sister, Lindsay, and her family, they came to Snowflake.
Lindsay is also his sister. Like, he has a sister named Lindsay,
Yeah.
and he married me, Lindsay. So that's funny.
And my dad's wife has a daughter named Lindsay. So there's
Three Lindsays.
There's a lot. Anyways, so my sister Lindsay and her family went to Snowflake to my dad's new house, and then we went to Snowflake, and we had Christmas Eve and Christmas morning there.
Yes.
And then Christmas Day, we drove to
Mace.
So like we played Christmas Day and then that like nighttime ish. Like we left in the evening and then we went to Queen Creek, which is where my other two sisters live.
How far of a drive was that?
It was like 2.5 hours probably.
I thought it was like 4 hours.
No, it's like 2.5, 3, I think.
Yeah, so on Christmas night we did like a road trip to your other sister's house.
Yeah.
And we had McDonald's for dinner. For Christmas dinner. That's when I lost it.
You love McDonald's.
I know. Like, if that happened today, I'd be living it up. I'd be like, thank you. I love McDonald's. But we normally have Chinese on Christmas. My family does that. So I was just eating my chicken nuggets and crying in McDonald's like we were in public. And again, you didn't care. And I was just on social media and my family was at the Chinese restaurant and I was just having so much FOMO and I was just eating chicken nuggets and it was really, really sad.
Like, this is your first impression that you're giving to my family for the holidays.
I know.
That's the hard part for me is like my family didn't really know you before we got married in the first place. So I never really got their quote unquote approval of like, yes, Lindsay's amazing. Like marry her, do this. Like we love her.
Yeah.
And so like this was supposed to be that time for me of you basically winning my family over. And like
and
here
I was
you are.
just a sad, depressed girl.
And that like you're just like saying, I miss my
if you
family.
know, you know. This is not abnormal of like first time being away from your family, you're at your spouse's.
But I feel like
it's not abnormal. You cry when that happens, especially if you're a girl. It's just people will relate.
I mean, I'm sure there will be people that relate, and maybe I am being heartless.
You 100% are.
Okay. I was just like, Lindsay, like we're just doing this once, this 1 year. So my family, like, you were just so focused on what you were missing out on rather than like what you were gaining in this situation.
It's
like,
true. You should have been like, Lindsay, you love McDonald's. Like, we'll get you a hot fudge sundae.
I probably tried to do that in the first place.
Maybe you did, and it just wasn't working.
I think I was like, oh, McDonald's, I wasn't the happiest about it either. It was very like
That's
Christmas
true. That's
is,
not their thing, guys, to get McDonald's on Christmas.
Christmas is for me growing up. We were always together in the Flagstaff house, and we would all wake up in the morning and come down the stairs. Like it was a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
And so these last 2 years after my mom passing away, that we're talking about, it was just different.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the most different that it had been.
Yeah.
Since she passed, and it was hard for everybody, but it was just like it was supposed to be a happy time because I just got married, and now here my new wife is crying in McDonald's about how she's not with her real family.
Real family, okay.
And that's probably how
blood.
Blood family.
You could just say my family.
Yeah,
and I was missing my Chinese food. Okay, I've gotten over that. Low key, every single year I'm with your family. I miss my Chinese on Christmas Day. I do. I can't.
We always get Chinese. Like
last year we did.
Like here's the thing. Like now my family, like they try to accommodate so much.
Now that I'm thinking about it, they actually they really do. They're like, oh, we'll make pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. Oh, you want Chinese? Like they do that.
Yeah.
It's so sweet of them.
They bend
Your
over
family's
backwards.
awesome.
Yes, I know.
They bend over backwards for me. They do.
They do, because they saw you cry at the first Thanksgiving. They were like, we want Lindsay to
No,
be
I
happy.
cried in the room. I wasn't in public crying. I was crying in the corner.
Christmas, you were in public crying.
True. It's
Yeah, I
all
don't
right.
know what my sister Lindsay and her husband Jared were thinking. I don't.
I think they were.
They probably felt more bad for you than I did.
Yeah, I remember they went to they all took like bathroom breaks because it was like a road trip at the same time, and that's when I broke down. So I don't know if they saw. Maybe
Well,
they
You
did.
definitely had the red puppy eyes.
Oh.
Like you could definitely tell that like something
So
was
sad.
up.
If only I could go back. Like if me now like knew that everything was gonna be okay.
Hindsight is
I would've
always
been fine.
2020.
I know.
It's just, oh my gosh, that was just.
Yeah, so please send me your thoughts and prayers
Yeah, we don't want Lindsay crying this year.
yeah. No, this year's gonna be the best because now we have a baby.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like extra excited for the holidays.
It's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say? This is a super quick episode because it's getting late and we have to like get it up.
Well, I mean, do we have anything else we want to say? I mean, honestly.
I'm just thinking about like things we can say about like Thanksgiving and Christmas, or just like the holidays. Oh, we can talk about Black Friday shopping, how we normally do that in Arizona, but we probably won't because we have Scarlet.
That's that.
And
That's pretty much the entire Black Friday thing.
And we were talking about how we miss the old Black Friday. How
people would line up at stores at 12 a.m. on Thursday night.
It was so fun.
But people that probably experience that are like, I do not miss that. Having to fight
Maybe
people
if you have social anxiety, for sure. But I remember the first time I was able to go because my mom was always like, no, you can't come with us. So it was always like my mom and her sister. So it was always like the fun aunts, like they would all go together to get presents for us. So they were like, no, you can't come because we're getting presents for you guys. So like, no. But I finally was able to convince her. I think I was 12 or 13. It was so fun. And they just had to like hide certain things in other people's like family members' carts and stuff. But it was so fun just staying up late with your family, shopping. Oh, those were the days.
I remember
Now
always
it's not like
asking
that
my
anymore.
sister Brooke if I could go with her. Like, I'd try to convince her, like, let's go Black Friday shopping.
Did you ever?
I think we might have gone, but
You don't have any memories?
I just remember trying to convince people to go because I wanted to go and like experience the craziness.
Yeah. And people were saying, like, who were adults back then, that the reason why it was so crazy is because the deals were actually like really good. Where now I don't see anything above like, if it's
it's like 20%, 30%.
30% isn't too bad, but why isn't anything like half off?
Like, we need 50, 75% off.
75?
Like 75%
Sometimes
off.
Lululemon one time, it was like their Cyber Monday deal. I think it was like 50% or maybe even more off, and that's when I got you a sweater.
I mean, even still, it's like $80.
That's true. But I guess that's all I have to say on that. I'm so sorry, guys.
Put that in my cool story basket.
Our next podcast is gonna be way better because we're because we're gonna come back from Arizona on Saturday, film again on Sunday, and get it up Monday. So we'll have like a bunch of Thanksgiving stories to tell.
That's true.
Yeah.
It'll be good. No, but it's just funny because like going into this, we're like, what do we talk about? Like we sat down to record this. Like, wait, what are we talking about?
I knew I wanted to bring up Wicked being so amazing, but I couldn't go too in depth because you hadn't seen it yet. So.
Yeah. And it's like,
that's okay. We still blabbed for nothing for an hour.
But I mean,
not for nothing. We blabbed about nothing for an hour.
Not every episode can be perfect. Like we committed to 10 years of doing this. Every single week, 10 years. We committed. And the only reason we did that is because, like, if you do anything for long enough, it'll work out.
Yeah.
And, like, no, we can't
More things will keep happening to us, so, like, we'll keep blabbing our mouths.
We can't expect every episode to be perfect, though.
Of course. Anything else you'd like to say before we get this edited and up in, like, a couple hours?
I got nothing.
All right. Thank you guys so much for sticking around.
Yeah, thank you guys.
We love you, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.